Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Rakakodash. Double belongs to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well. And Shalom to the hopeful elect. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Barakatam. It's the brother Kazah from the Medaval 12 West Coast, coming back at it again with another lesson. Alright, and basically the topic of this lesson, is going to be mainly about the Israelite foreigners. Alright, the Israelites that's going to look like the other nations. And ultimately, we're going to address that carnal mentality that a lot of Israelites have, so people who call themselves Israelites have, in that you see, and I don't want to say in this truth because they are not in the truth, but we, you see that they display that detractive, as Elder Apostle Kabar put it, that detractive mentality, towards the Israelite foreigners. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, very, very carnal. And the reason why they're like that is because they really don't understand the scriptures. That's one. All right. And then the second thing is they don't know what this thing is about. They think that this thing is like another black power, brown beret. I'm using both sides in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the brown beret is like the Latin equivalent of the Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? But they think this thing it only pertains to so-called black people, and you got certain Latins that think that this thing only pertains to, so-called Latinos. You know what I'm saying? And they call themselves Israelites, and they pushing out, wayward doctrines, man. All right, they pushing out wayward doctrines. And if you watch their videos, you could tell that they're just not in the truth, man. All right, you could tell the spirit is just not dealing with them, man. They're not occupied in prophecy. I was looking at this Latino-only Israelite group, you know what I'm saying, just to laugh at them. It's just what it is, picking out a few, just picking out, see what I could, do with them. And they're so low level that it's really like, there's really no use, wasting your energy on them. They go by ancient watchmen. These dudes teach that you could smoke weed and shit, man, because it's the herbs and the Lord gave us the herbs. So therefore you could smoke weed, They're teaching a lot of things that's just like it's just really not worth, what I'm saying, stooping down to that level, and this is really the example of all these groups that want to push that carnal mentality out. All right, and it's not just those groups either. You had all that one, certain individuals that got their own little channels, keep to themselves teachers, having itchy ears, and then spirit gets the spirit you just tell the Lord is not dealing with them. Like that dude that Elder Apostle Kabar addressed, with that lesson, dealing with how he was detractive and as far as his reasoning goes for why Tom Brady is not a Jake, which was a very stupid list of reasons. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. That's our people. Some are gonna be stiff-necked. Some are gonna have their eyes closed out to this thing. And you got several measures of that. All right, you got several measures of that. If you look at how, I wouldn't say the body, but you look at how do I put it to you? If you look at the people who call themselves Israelites as a whole, you got several groups out there, man. All right, you got several groups out there. Okay. You got several groups out there. You got IUIC, you got ICBK. All right, you got GOCC, and then you got the individuals out there. They don't want to be part of a group. They want to do their own thing. You got FOPI, you got Ancient Watchmen. You got you got groups out there, man. All right, and they all teach, things that'll get you destroyed. All right, because Great Millstone is, and brothers that other groups out there. I don't want to say other groups. But Great Millstone and camps that teach the same doctrine as Great Millstone, from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. All right, that's the 100% truth. Okay, the spirit is dealing with them. All right, the spirit is dealing with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the men underneath. Including myself, teaching the same doctrine. So it's not to boast, but it is what it is. You can tell who's real and who's not real in this thing. All right, you can tell who is with the business and who is with the nonsense. Okay, just simply put. And this is one of those topics that really shed light on who the spirit is really dealing with, because it lines up perfectly with the scriptures, man. All right, it lines up perfectly with the scriptures. There's no denying it. All right, so without further ado, we're going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12 and 9. All right, I'm not going to try to make this lesson too long, but, it's all through the Spirit. Okay, so the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, verse 9. Mine inheritance is unto me as a speckled bird. Okay, so the whole inheritance as far as Israel goes is likened unto a speckled bird. Now, the image that you were seeing here that I have pulled up is a speckled bird. And you see a bird, it has many colors, man. Okay, you got you got dark parts of the bird, you got light, white spots in the bird. You got beige parts in the bird. I don't think that's beige actually. You got like light brown parts in the bird. I'm looking at the wings, the little light brown highlights in the wings. And that goes to show you that our people is out here looking diverse, man. All right, our people is out here diverse, and what supports that? The curses. Okay, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. I gotta pay attention, ain't no police out here. Okay, but the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 60, 28, verse 64. All right, and it reads, and Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, shall scatter thee among all people. Okay, and I keep bringing these out, it's to the point where, the ones that get it, and the ones that don't. It is what it is, man. All right, because it's ultimately Isaiah 6 and 9 on the people who don't get it. Okay, but this lines up with the scriptures, man. So anyways, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other powers. Other gods, other idols, which neither, I don't want to say other, but there thou shalt serve idols, basically, which neither thou nor not thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Okay, and that's what happened. All right, when that in 70 AD, the Roman Empire came down on Israel very, very bad. Okay, they came down on Israel so bad that millions of Israelites, all right, and this is mainly the southern kingdom, all right, and you had the remnant of the northern kingdom that stayed with the southern kingdom. Okay, they stayed with them, and they also left with them as well. But you had millions of Jakes, all right, millions of Israelites that went somewhere else. Basically, they escaped. All right, this is known as the diaspora. All right, you got many that went down to Africa. You know what I'm saying? You got many that went down to Africa, to the west coast of Africa, other parts as well. Hey, our people, man, we everywhere, man. All right, we're as the sands of the sea. Okay, so you have many that went down to Africa. You have many that stayed in Europe, because again, remember, you got Israelites that were dealing with the Edomites since Alexander the Great, man, since the time of the Maccabees. Since the time of the Maccabees, you had Israelites dealing with Edomites and going after their ways, and those are going to be destroyed. All right, but still, you had Israelites in Europe, man. Okay, and hey, our people are a fruitful nation. We like to deal with women, man. So what do you think is going to happen when we see a beautiful woman and she's giving us signals? Yo, we gonna go and smash that. All right, make babies with them, man. That's what we do. Okay, that's part of our blessings. We're being a fruitful nation to multiply. All right, so yeah, we our ancestors, that, you know what I'm saying, as far as the Israelite foreigners go, because I'm an Israelite foreigner myself. Our ancestors went and popped the heathen women, and that's why we came out looking the way we do. Okay, that's why we came out looking the way we do. And if the Spirit allows it, in a bit, I'm gonna go into how the appearances fluctuate, man. All right, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my patriarch, per se. I'm a genealogy in a little bit. Not too many generations. It's not endless genealogy. But just a little bit of it. If the Spirit allows it. But anyways, what I was gonna bring out initially, the initial point was that these two scriptures make sense. They line up with each other. Of course, are people going to be looking, of course the nation is going to be as a speckled bird. Of course the nation is going to be diverse as far as looks go, because our people have been scattered throughout the one corner of the earth, man. All right, and also too with the diaspora, just to shed more light with that, you had a lot of our people that went out to Asia. All right, you had a lot of our people that went out to Asia. That's why you had black shoguns, black samurai. You had certain Asian dynasties, or I wouldn't say Asian, you had certain Chinese dynasties that were jakes, man. And I don't want to quote this, you know what I'm saying, but brothers, do your research, man. We were ruling basically everywhere we went, man. We had a period where we ruled over Europe. The Moors, went up to Europe, took it over, ruled over it. And even before then, you had our people sprinkled among the Europeans as well, man. All right, so that's just what it is. All right, 2 miles to the exit. Okay, so you had our people sprinkled in among the Europeans as well. All right, so of course our people is going to be looking like the so-called Europeans. Of course our people is going to be looking like the so-called Moabites. I mean, like the Moabites. All right, so the so-called Asians, the so-called Japhites. Damn, I keep on getting it mixed up, man. But yeah, the Japhites, the so-called Samoans, so-called what's the other word for them? Tongans, and so on and so forth. Our people were sprinkled in among the nations, man, and we went after their idols. The Israelite foreigners, they went after their idols, man, because guess you gonna lose, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai took that remembrance away. I thought that was a cop, but Yahweh Shem Yahushai took, he took away our identity from us. All right, he took our identity from us. Even the bulk of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, they don't know who they are. All right, you got so-called black people calling themselves a color. All right, calling themselves two different men, African American, like they descend from Little Scipios Africanus, or they descend from Amerigo Vespucci. Just through, man. And then the madness just keeps on going. With that. All right, you got so-called Latinos calling themselves a language, Latin, Latino, Latin, right? Hispanic, Spanish, calling themselves languages, man. You got so-called Native Americans dancing around totem poles and shit, man. And that's not to mention what the so-called Latinos is doing too, and the Southern Kingdom with the witchcraft on the left-hand side, But our people is just out here destroyed, man. All right, our people is just out here destroyed, man. All right, is this the right spot? Yeah, this is the right spot. Okay. Oh, nah, it's right here. Yeah, let's not merge lane into another car, huh? All right, just have to pause real quick. I'm about to get out on this exit. All right, but going back to the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? Or going back to the lesson, you got our people that's gonna look like the other nations, man. All right, because we were sprinkled among the other nations. Okay, and we dominate the other nations. All right, we dominate the other nations. Look at Bruce Lee. Look at Bruce Lee, man. Look, that's a Jake. Okay, Bruce Lee is a Jake, man. He's an Israelite. He had too much flavor to be a Moabite. All right, and these Moabites, Bruce Lee is an example of why these Moabites are proud of who they are. When in reality, these Moabites, they proud of who they are because of Bruce Lee. Thinks he adds to their legacy. When in reality, Bruce Lee only adds to our legacy. All right, as a nation, of how we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. He is a walking example of an Israelite foreigner of the curses, man. Okay. He is a walking exact example of the curses, and furthermore, proves that the gospel is real, that the scriptures is real, that we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and us being a fruitful nation, okay, we were gonna pop these heathen women and have babies with them, man. All right, that's just what it is. Okay, and it's not to say all the nations is Israelites. All right, the whole world is Israelites. No. That's to say that our people were sprinkled among the other nations, man. All right, and we and they're coming back into remembrance too. You know, they're coming back into remembrance, and you could, you know what I'm saying, that's the thing, you got to be spiritual to see them, man. You see, men look at the outward appearance. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua looks at the inward, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know, he created our spirits. All right, and these in Israelite foreigners, you know, they add to our legacy. Okay, it further adds our legacy that even though we look like the other nations, is not the vessel that we're in that counts, because these vessels are defiled. All right, these bodies are defiled. All right, it's the spirit in it. Okay, it's the spirit in it, man. You know, it's the spirit in it. You know, and you know, a lot of brothers say, man, you know what I'm saying, you got dudes that say, oh, you know, it's only a black thing, this and that. But what about the tares, man? What about the Edomites that look like so-called black people? You know what I'm saying? What about the Edomites that look like so-called Hispanics and Native Americans? Yeah, the $5 Indians, man, straight Edomites that bought Indian land, you know, claiming to be Native Americans. You know, and they probably got mixed in with Gad, you know, and Reuben. You know, what about that? But that's because it, you know, goes to show, you know, these dudes are at a low level, man. All right, people that think like this are at a low level. They don't look at the inward appearance. They don't look at the spirit. They look at the outward. All right, they look at the outward. And yeah, you know, you got these nations that want to be like us. You know, Jake did make the curses look cool. All right, but you could tell, man, if you're spiritual, you could tell a bootleg from the real. All right, you could tell, you know, a bootleg from the real. You know, it's gonna take a little bit of work, you know, but when you see that this dude really ain't going through the curses, because that's another thing too. All right, that's a main indicator right there. You know, let me see if I can bring it out. All right, Book of Deuteronomy. We're gonna jump up to Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45, and it reads, "Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee." Okay, so that's something that happened. These curses came upon us, and Salakia, hold on. These curses came upon us for breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, for turning our back on Yahweh, our power. Okay, that's what happened. These curses came upon us, man, and when I read it in verse 64, that is a curse. So that further proves that, you know, the Israelite foreigners are under the curses, right? Because they were scattered. They look like the other nations, you know. So it reads, "Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee." All right, so verse 46, and this is the key point. "And they," talking about these curses, shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder." Okay, for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. All right, so these curses is an indicator, man. These curses is a sign and a wonder. All right, being made. I was wondering why the kids is coming out with the jiu-jitsu gis, man. It's the jiu-jitsu academy right here. Oh, nah, this is Taekwondo place. So like, you got a little bit sidetracked, man. I'm into the arts. All right, but like I was saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, these curses, man, being made to tail. All right, living in poverty. All right, everything that we have, we get it from our enemies. Okay, so much and so forth. Our women being out of order. All right, the evil eye. This is stuff that goes on worldwide. I'm gonna give you an example. Italy. All right, you got the city of Naples in Italy, which belongs to a criminal organization known as the Camorra. All right, the Camorra is not like the mafia. Camorra is separated into different sets, clans. Had to throw that in there, you know? And each of them beef with each other, man. It's like the Bloods and Crips in Naples. They singing rap songs. They ain't the hood. They women out of order. You know, the men got an evil eye towards each other. It's real out there. Okay, certain parts of Italy, it's real. You know, it's real, and that's how you know that they under the curses. All right, other parts of the world, man, Russia, you know, Europe, other parts of Europe too, Africa, East India, China, the Japanese. Don't get me started with the triads and the Yakuza. You know what I'm saying? That all that, and they got their little cliques that beef with each other too. That's the curses, man. All right, that's the curses that our people are under. And I don't want to put it out like you got to be from the streets to be an Israelite. No, that's just an example of that. But even then, how do I put it to you? In every walk of life that you're in, all right, Jake is gonna have an evil lie towards each other. Okay, Jake is gonna have an evil lie towards each other, man. All right, in no matter what walk of life that you're in, man. You could be in a martial arts academy, you and a Jake got an evil lie towards you for whatever reason, man. Maybe you don't like the color of the shirt you're wearing, so now it's, you know what I'm saying, he can never like you, or he just, you just don't, you're not compatible, man. It could be whatever, man. All right, but those are the curses. Okay, so let me see. The last scripture I want to bring out, sands of the sea, and Elder Apostle Gabar brought this one out, when he was doing that lesson, man. And then, also too, wanted to go into the word. Hold on real quick. Sand of the sea. Man, come on, where that? There we go. All right, and also too, we're gonna go into the word detractive. The Spirit's telling me to go into the word detractive. Okay, so going into the word detractive, we're gonna go into the Merriam-Webster. All right, so detraction. All right, a lessening of reputation or esteem, especially by envious, malicious, or petty criticism. All right, a taking away. And that's what carnal dudes do, man. They see, a so-called white dude. He got a lot of flavor, a lot of salt. He just want to be like the black man. He just want to be like the black man. That dude probably grew up in the hood, man. You got this one example, EBE Bands. I believe that's what his name was, man. He was a Chicago rapper. He grew up in the hood, man. He was involved with he was involved in gangs, and ultimately that killed him. But hey, that's Jake out here carnal, man. You know what I'm saying? A product of his society. A product of his environment. Come on, man. This is an actual good definition that I found out here, and for some reason it doesn't wanna. Let me see definition. That's probably what I gotta look up. No. What about this one? No. Come on, man. So y'all just gonna hide the come on, man. They just gonna hide the definition, man. Detractive definition, or detract. Let's go with detract. Damn. You see, this is Satan, man. All right, because I remember I was trying to do, I was looking up the word detractive, and there was a definition, on one of these websites, and now the website's not popping up no more, man. Let's go with meaning. I think it was in Merriam-Webster too. But I wanted to make a quick point with this. They can't find the website. What can I do? You know what I'm saying? But the definition that the dictionary said, was unfair criticism. An unfair criticism. To take away, to put down, and that's something that you see even among the tribes. All right, the Southern Kingdom, be putting down the Northern Kingdom when they try to get into the hip hop thing. And I'm using these worldly examples, but these are things that manifest and show that how do I put it to you? It shows, that our people are under the curses, and our people, especially them of the world, are in a worldly, in a carnal mentality, and that is enmity with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That's why us here in in this truth and this knowledge, all right, in 100% truth and knowledge, you know, under the elders and apostles of great millstone, all right, we are the example of what to be. Okay, we are the example of Amos 9:11. You got so many brothers coming in, they look different. You know what I'm saying? The Israelite foreigners. You got brothers in Holland, you got brothers in the Europe, man, out there pushing. You got brothers in Italy that look like Italians. You know what I'm saying? Pushing. And also the so-called northern tribes, man. The so-called Latinos, the so-called Native Americans that got that brown, you know, look to their skin. They're not as dark as Judah, you know. And also too, you know, the Southern Kingdom. You got Southern Kingdoms that look like the Northern Kingdom. You got Southern Kingdom, such as myself, look like so-called white people. You know, but I got a brown, you know, tint to my skin. You know what I'm saying? I look like the Northern Kingdom. You know, but that's, you know, what I'm trying to say is, you know, that's the speckled bird that our heritage is. All right, that is the speckled bird. Okay, so let me see right quick where was I going with this. And, you know, that's just a carnal mentality, you know, to be putting down the speckled birds because, you know, they want to be like you or whatever, because they don't look like you. But meanwhile, you got the terrorists trying to be like you. You don't say shit, man. It's an unfair fucking it's an unfair, you know, a criticism, like the definition says, man. All right, and all that's going to be done away with because the house of David is getting raised up, man. The breaches are being closed. All right, all the tribes is going to get together, and this is where it starts, man. All right, this is where it starts. All right, and it's truth. So let's see. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 22. And it reads, "For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return." Okay, and that is talking about what's going on right now. All right, that's what's going on right now, and doesn't that make any sense? All right, doesn't it makes sense? Of course, our people's gonna be looking like the other nations. Our people are like the sand of the sea, man. The sands of the sea, innumerable. Of course, it makes sense that we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Of course, it makes sense that we're gonna look like so-called white people, so-called East Indians, so-called Chinese, Japanese. Do you know what I'm saying? Of course it makes sense, man. We're as the sands of the sea, you know? So it reads, "Yet a remnant of them shall return, and the consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness." All right, so, hey, you're going to have the remnant is coming back, man. You're going to have people of all that look like all nations that's really Israelites coming back. And you could tell through their flavor. You could tell through their zeal of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. You could tell through their, you know, basically their flavor, man. You know, their sauce. They got. Hey, they're not plain like the other nations, man. We bring flavor to this world. That's why I said earlier, you know, you got dudes like Bruce Lee. He's an example of why. He's an example of why these Moabites, you know, they think he adds to their legacy, but he really adds to our legacy. All right, and he's just one example. You got so many people out there that's Israelite foreigners, that's speckled birds, that further add to our legacy, that look like these other nations, and these other nations are the reason. I mean, so okay, and these speckled birds are the reasons why these nations are proud. You know, like you got this dude, I believe his name is Rocky Marciano. Let me see. Let me look him up real quick. All right, Rocky. I think that's his name. Yeah, Rocky Marciano. All right, an undefeated Italian boxer, man. This is the dude that Floyd Mayweather beat. This the dude that Floyd Mayweather, I believe he beat his title. I mean his record. All right, but this dude was never lost. All right, he had 43 wins by knockout. You know, he had a very good chin. All right, that he's regarded as one of the greats, man. And these Edomites take him because he looks like a so-called white man, as you see in the picture right here, right? They take him and they think that he adds to their legacy. No, he adds to our legacy. All right, these Edomites make movies about the mobsters and the Italians, thinking that adds to their legacy, thinking that they got the gangsters too. No, that adds to our legacy, man. And that's a wicked lifestyle anyways, you know? But that adds to our legacy, man. All right, because we got that salt, we got that talent. All right, we're above these nations. That's why Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai reputed them as nothing but spittle. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna say, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rachakodash for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. All right, and all these carnal dudes running around, you know, hey, they don't snap out of that carnal mentality, man. They don't snap out of that. They're going to be dealt with by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You're going to sift them out, and you're going to be asked out in Jacob's trouble. All right, the times we're coming in is no joke, man. All right, so with that, I'm going to say shalom.